Okay, and where it goes, so I'm going to spotlight my video. And here we go. So, as always, start by finding your comfortable seat, whatever that looks like in your body. Allow your body to come into stillness, and remember that you have options for how you're seated, right? So you can sit with your legs folded if that's comfortable. In my body, this is comfortable. But if it's not in yours, you can have your feet out. You can be sitting on a block or a cushion to help create space. And Patricia's showing me her dog as well. A very cute stuffed animal. We all have our yoga buddies with us today. So from here, once again, find your comfortable seat. Once you're settled, begin to cultivate some nice deep belly breaths, really breathing from the center of your body. As you slow down into this space, begin to let your body relax and just notice any areas where you're holding tension. If your back or your neck feel a little tight, just let those spaces soften. We'll begin to add a little bit of movement to our breath. On your next inhale, roll your spine out nice and long. Sit tall on the mat. And then exhale to soften, melt your shoulders, your back, your hips. And we'll find that again. Inhaling, lifting, rising, expanding. And exhale. On our next inhale, we'll add some arms. Inhale to sweep your hands all the way up to the sky. On your exhale, turn to the right. Let one hand fall in front of you and one behind you. And then inhale back to center. Exhale to turn to the left. One hand in front of you, one behind. Inhaling to center and right. To center and left. And then simply continue to follow this pattern on your breath. Now, as you breathe, as you move, begin to notice what would feel good. So if it would feel good to linger in this gentle twist a little bit, or to begin to completely add on and find a little bit of expression here, feel free to do so, to notice what in your body needs to stretch, needs to let go, and just address those spaces. And then nice and gently and gradually begin to make your way back to seated. Draw your hands to heart center and take a moment right here to set an intention for your practice today, to choose the energy you would like to cultivate right here on your mat. Once that intention is set, simply release your hands down, walk them forward and sweep your feet around behind you, finding your way into tabletop. So in tabletop, our wrists come beneath our shoulders, knees are under our hips. On your inhale, roll your heart forward and tip your tailbone to the sky. Then exhale to coil your belly in and drop the crown of your head. And we'll feel this a couple times, inhaling to roll open and exhaling to coil. Now, if this feels amazing, if this is perfect, then you can stay right here, flowing through cat-cow. If you'd like to, you're also welcome to add some free-form movement here. So some shifting to side, forward and back, maybe making little C shapes with your side body. Whatever helps you release tension, whatever feels good right now. Thank you. And then find your way back to a neutral spine in tabletop. From here, we're going to draw our knees a little closer together under our hips so that we're nice and stable. On your inhale, extend your right leg long behind you and lower the tip of your toe down to the mat. Then begin to press into your right heel to stretch out the back of your right leg. Now you have choices here. So you can sustain this stretch, stretching out that calf. You're also welcome to find a slow flow, just moving into and out of this space. Come back to center. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Let's feel that on the other side. Let's extend that left leg long. Lower your tip of your toe to the mat and begin to press into your left heel. Again, your choice right here, yogi's choice. So pressing into that left heel or finding that slow flow, gently rolling into and out of that stretch. Find your way back to your tabletop. Now, from here, we're going to transition to our forward fold. So remember, there are a few ways to get there, right? You can walk your hands back to stand up. You can also step your feet forward. When you reach your forward fold, feel welcome to have a block to support your upper body if you would like. You can also just find release here, just surrendering into that fold. Try to let your head be heavy and your neck be long. You can maybe find a little movement, rocking from side to side. Just letting some of the stress of the week go. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale to rise and open. Sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to draw your hands to heart center. Release your hands down, and if you're not already there, we're going to set up our first Tadasana, our first mountain pose at the top of the mat. Now, I know that you can't see the top of my body on your screen, but we're going to be coming back down. So I'm just going to leave myself decapitated for a moment. So for Tadasana, remember that we want to root our feet to the earth. Feet are parallel. They're both facing forward, so we avoid turning out or turning in. Legs are nice and rooted. Bring your hands to your belly and give your belly some love. Many of us feel stress and experience digestive issues through our bellies. So take a moment to just apply a little soothing massage right here. It's one of the first places that I know I experience stress. I can tell when I'm stressed because my belly does weird things. And then find that space just underneath your navel where there's that little triangle of muscles and draw them in and up. Feel your tailbone lengthen. Shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward, standing tall and proud. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Bend your knees, let your fingertips come down to your blocks or to the mat. On your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge and lower that right knee down to the mat. Now remember, I can't see you very clearly, so I need to be very careful about alignment. So we're just gonna all have to do a lot of self-awareness here. So make sure in your lunge that your left knee is directly over that left ankle. We don't wanna have an angle that's very deep. This puts a little too much stress on the kneecap. So if you look down and your foot's back, just move it forward. If you're using blocks, go ahead and grab them. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, let your left hip drop back. That left leg begins to straighten out. Inhaling forward, melt your right hip. Exhaling, shifting back. So in our flowing lunge, remember that you can leave your fingertips touching down, or they can walk with you, even if you have blocks. If that helps you get a deeper stretch to the back of your leg, it's totally okay. You can walk your hands with you. On this next inhale, let's come all the way forward to lunge. Tabletop. Knees come beneath your hips. Again, wrists are under your shoulders. Inhale to roll your heart forward. Exhale, coil your belly in. And again, yogi's choice in this space, either staying in cat-cow and enjoying that sensation, or maybe finding a little sahaja, a little free-form movement. And it really is just based on what feels better in your body today. Feel empowered to make the choices that feel good for you. Come back to stillness at the center. From here, we're going to walk our hands one handspan forward and shift our shoulders over our wrists. So we're setting up for our half plank. As always, let's do it wrong first. So slump through your midsection and then dial your strong stomach muscles in. You'll feel your knees, hips, and shoulders are in one long line. Staying engaged through your belly, begin to bend your elbows to lower your half plank down to the mat. Now, if this gets to be too much, just come down to the earth. Walk your toes back once you touch down. Bring your fingertips wide. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other through creative cobra. We're just finding nice big shoulder circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under and press back. Tabletop. Now, if you have one in your practice already and you would like to feel it, you're also welcome to take downward dog here. Wherever you have landed, find movement. So maybe that's cat-cow or freeform spinal movement. If you have taken downward facing dog, use this opportunity to walk out your dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Remember, you can shift your shoulders and sway your spine. Wherever you are, just find a little bit of ease, a little bit of movement. And then make your way back to neutral. So we come to stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step that right foot forward between your hands. If your back knee is lifted, please lower it down. And we're just going to do a quick check with that front leg. So in that front leg, we want to make sure that that right knee is directly over the right ankle again. Plant your hands on your blocks or on your mat. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back, stretching out the back of your right leg. And inhale forward to lunge. Exhaling back. And remember, you also have the option here to walk your hands back and forth if that helps you stretch. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. fold. Find some ease, some movement. You can rock from side to side here. Again, just letting your head be heavy, let your neck be long. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale. Roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Take a moment here, reset your Tadasana. If it moved, no problem if it did, but just find your feet again. So taking a moment, rooting down into the earth, feeling that strong core, that long tailbone. Shoulders are rolled back and down, hearts are shining forward. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Bend your knees and plant your hands. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge and lower that left knee down. Quick check-in on that right knee, just making sure it's directly over the ankle. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. This time we go a little deeper. Let's let those right toes rise in this stretch. So we get a nice deep stretch through the back of that right leg. Inhale forward, melt your hip. And exhale, shift back, right toes rising. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhale, shifting back. Remembering, as with last round, you can walk your hands back and forth if that helps you get a deeper stretch here. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge, tabletop from here. So once again, finding our knees under our hips, wrists under our shoulders. Let's move to half plank. Walk your hands one handspan forward, shift your shoulders over your wrists. So we find our engaged core again. If you need to slump and then dial in, that's totally fine. We just want to make sure we're strong through the belly. With control, bend your elbows and float your way down to the mat. Again, just coming down if it gets to be too much. Walk your toes back, draw your fingertips to beneath your shoulders, and we're going to move through a traditional cobra here. So what I'd like you to do first is look directly at the mat. So we're going to lengthen through the back of the neck, and this helps protect us. On your inhale, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, back and down. Back of the neck stays long. Exhale to soften down to the mat. 2 more times, rolling open. And once more, opening into cobra. And exhaling down, turn your toes under, press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. So again, whatever feels good in your body. Come to stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. If your back knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it. And we're just going to check in again with that left knee. So we want to make sure that it's directly aligned over that left ankle. Grab your blocks if you were using them. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. Let that left hip draw you back. This time, left toes rise, creating plenty of length. Inhaling forward, melting your hip. And exhale back. Again, following your breath here, moving at your rate, remembering that you can walk your hands back and forward as well. On your next inhale, shift all the way forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under, lift your back knee, look forward, and step together. Find your fold here. Again, trying to find full release. Let your head be heavy. Rock from side to side if that would feel good. Remember that when you're in forward fold, you can also always have a block under your hands to help support your upper body. What's most important here is that you find a space to just relax and soften. On your next exhale, come to stillness, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. From here, let's come back down to the mat. We're going to take a seat. So we're going to take our opening meditation, our opening twist, and just take it a little deeper before we move into core cultivation so that we have our transverse movement nice and warmed up. So from here, inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, turn to the right. Now this time we're going to bring that left hand to our right knee and just plant that right hand behind us. And with gentle pull, we're going to turn our heart toward the back. We're still just warming up, so we're not going to go for the full seated twist experience here. We're just finding a little bit of movement, a little bit more rotation. Come back to center. Let's feel that on the other side. Hands to the sky. Exhale, bring that right hand to your left knee, and that left hand just rests behind us. And again, we're just going to turn toward the back of the room, assisting that movement with the contact from the right hand. And just one little pro tip, this little seated twist can be done anytime during the day. This one doesn't require you to be really warmed up first. So if you're sitting in your desk chair and you've been sitting for a while and you're experiencing particularly discomfort in your mid to lower back, take a moment and twist it out. You can do this while seated in a desk chair. It can really, really help. So from here, let's roll all the way down onto our backs. Draw your knees into your chest. Start just by rocking from side to side. You can massage your lower back on the earth. And then we're going to come to center, to stillness. Relax your palms all the way down to the mat. So arms are reaching down beside our hips. On your inhale, press your heels to the sky. Now, remembering earlier in practice where we engaged our bellies and felt our tailbone reaching long, we're going to feel that again. So that little bit of tuck of the core, we keep that to keep working our abdominal muscles here. On your exhale, lower your right heel down. So maybe it's only a few inches, maybe it's a 45-degree angle, maybe it's a little more, it just depends on your practice. Inhale to center and exhale to lower that left heel down. Inhaling to center and exhaling right. So things to stay aware of while we're here in Yoga Scissors. Try to keep your core steady and engaged. Remember to go slowly. Try to keep pressing through both of your heels. And if it's ever too much, you can just decrease the angle, or you can draw your knees into your chest. Just rest. So we're going to wrap up on that left side and then draw everything in. Rock from side to side, let it go. We'll come back to stillness at the center and set that one up one more time. Relax your arms down, palms facing the mat. Inhale, press your heels to the sky. So this time we'll add a little twist and engage your core. On your exhale, lower that right heel down. This time, reach your right arm across your body, and your right shoulder may come off the mat for this. Inhale to center. Exhale, left heel lowers, left arm reaches. Inhale to center and right. So whichever heel is down, that's the arm that's reaching across. And we just flow right here in yoga scissors. Come back to center, draw your knees in and let it go. Rock from side to side. Let's find one more core cultivator, but we're going to come up to seated for it. So let's set up for our boat pose for Navasana, or at least for one of the steps on the way to Navasana. So we'll set up a V seat here. So you want your feet firmly planted, nice deep bend in your knees, and then settle your sits bones into the mat. Engage your core, shoulders roll back and down, heart stays lifted. From here, we can start with our fingertips behind the nooks of the knees. On your exhale, begin to hinge back, staying lifted through the heart. Inhale back to center. And exhale, shifting back. Inhaling to center. So nice and slow and controlled. Now, yogi's choice here. If this is cultivating, if this is tough, you stay right here. If you would like to add on a little challenge, you're welcome to float your hands and maybe find just a little more space as you come back. Again, slowly inhaling forward. So more than anything, we want to stay slow, controlled, lifted, and engaged. I hope my breathing doesn't sound too loud. This is my first time teaching with a headset on. On your next inhale, let's fold all the way forward and just rock from side to side, let go. And then we will make our way from here to standing. You can get there however you would like to. Adjust my camera a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of cultivation of strength in our lower body right now. So what I'd like you to do is find a Tadasana pose. So a mountain pose. We want to root our feet. Now look down at your feet, and this part's a little different. Bring your big toes to touch, but let your heels remain separate. We're going to be working a little bit with fierce pose or chair pose. We want our feet to have a fairly narrow base. Bring your hands to your hips. From here, we're going to begin to shift our hips back toward our heels, almost as though we're taking a seat in a chair, which is where the name chair pose comes from, although a chair is much more relaxing than this space. So I like to pulse my way down, bending my knees and finding my way low. Now, once you're there, engage your belly, tailbone reaches long, so we feel that exact same practice that we've been working this entire time. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, sweep your hands off to your right-hand side. Inhale to center and off to the left. To center and off to the right. Now, if this gets to be a lot, and it might, it's okay to focus on the twist and make that bend in the knees a little bit less dramatic, or come all the way up to standing. The next time you find your way over to your right side, we'll sustain right here. Bring your left hand to your right hip, reach that right arm long. And we're just gonna sink. Now, look down at your knees. You want them to be even, and most of the time that left hip will have cheated forward a little bit. So we just want to even out. Try to sink one more inch down. And release. Come back to standing. Let's wiggle it out. All right, we still have one more side to do. Come back to standing. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. This time we're going to sweep them over to that left side. Inhale to center and over to the right. Inhale to center and bend your knees. Utkatasana, fierce pose, chair pose, again checking in with the core. And then let's continue the pattern with the arms. Exhale, sweep over to the left. Inhale to center and over to the right. Now, when you come over to your left side, we're going to sustain. So that right hand can come to the left hip, left arm reaches long. Keep sinking into your knees. Look down. Make sure your knees are even. Try to sink your hips one more inch. And yeah, it burns. It definitely does. And release. Back to standing. Wiggle it out. Nicely done, everyone. So we're going to play with a little bit of standing balance now that we've started warming up our legs. So I invite you to come to near a surface that will act to support you. So if you have a bookshelf or a desk or a chair nearby, if you already know that today's not a good balance day, and that's totally okay, find something that will be your buddy. Once you're stable, we're going to play a little bit with our balance. So let's start by rooting our right foot down. Feel that connection to the earth. Engage your core, shoulders roll back and down. From here, we're going to lift that left knee. Now, cross your left knee over your right. So we're standing on one foot with that left knee crossed over. If it's open to you, begin to bend your right knee. So we're sinking down toward that Utkatasana experience, but with that knee crossed. So we're on one foot. And again, feel free to have something support you here. And release, slowly rolling back up. Wiggle it out. Let's feel that on the other side. Root your left foot down. Engage your core, shoulders rolling back and down. And we're going to float that right knee. Cross it over your left. Again, just hovering right here, balanced on that left foot. Stay lifted or begin to bend your left knee, sinking down. And again, feel free to use a supporting surface here. And release. Wiggle it out. Nicely done, everyone. Make your way back to your mat if you migrated. So let's do a little lunge or a little high lunge sequence right here. So what I'd like you to do is step your right foot forward and your left foot back. And we're going to be facing the front of the mat here. From here, bend that right knee and turn your left foot out to the side. And I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit so that you can see a little bit more of my body. So again, right foot is forward, left foot is back, but we're facing the front of the mat. So we want that back left foot to be comfortable with our hips facing the front of the mat. So depending on how your body's feeling today, maybe that's turned out all the way, maybe it's a little bit more narrow. Warrior one, that back foot varies in terms of position, depending on who we are and how our body is laid out. So with that bend in the knee, inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, sweep your hands over to the right. Inhale to center and over to the left. Inhale to center and over to the right. Continuing to follow that twisting pattern. Now let's come back to center. So from here, we're going to bring that right arm over, left arm under, and find our shoulders first. Lower your elbows all the way down, shoulder blades roll back and down as well. That right knee is still bent, but if this is starting to be too much in warrior, remember you can always straighten that knee to take a little tension off. On your inhale, lift just the tips of your elbows and exhale to lower them. Inhaling to lift. And exhale to lower. Now, if it's open to you, you're welcome to transition to eagle arms here, where the backs of the arms come together and maybe we find that palm or the thumb. We find the same movement here, inhaling, lifting just the tips of the elbows, exhaling to lower, and inhale to lift. So now we can put it all together. Inhale, lift, straighten your right knee. Exhale, lower, bend your right knee. Full body vinyasa, inhaling, lifting up and out. Exhaling to sink. Straighten your right knee, release your arms, roll it out a little bit. Now, if that left foot is turned out to the side, we're going to adjust so that both feet are facing forward and our stance is a little bit more narrow. There should be sort of one full stride between your feet and both feet are rooted down so they're flat on the mat. I always think of this one as the walk like an Egyptian pose, so if that helps at all, this is a good one for that. So heart and hips are oriented toward the front of the mat. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, sweep them down by your sides. Press through your palms, lift your heart. Keep all of that length on this inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Pyramid pose. Our fingertips come down to touch our shins or our thighs, maybe the mat. From here, inhale to create length along your spine. And exhale to soften. And we just feel this happen a few times in our bodies. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, melting toward the earth. So one more little twist right here. We're going to bring our left hand to that right knee and root it. So maybe it's the knee or the thigh, maybe the shin, wherever your hand can land comfortably. On your inhale, peel your right arm open. This is revolved triangle. Exhale to lower that hand down. Inhale, peel and open. Exhaling to lower. One more time, rotating. And then exhaling all the way down. Bend both knees, roll your way all the way up to standing. Stand together and wiggle it out. All right, so let's feel that same sequence on the other side. So this time, we're going to step our feet together. And then step that left foot forward and that right foot back. Bend your left knee, and we're going to find a comfortable position for that back right foot so that our heart and our hips can face the front of the mat. So again, maybe that's turned out completely to the side, maybe it's more of an angle. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep them off to that left hand side. Inhale to center. And off to the right. Inhaling to center and to the left. Come back to center. We're going to find our left arm over and our right arm under. Find your shoulders first. Lower your elbows and roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale to lift just the tips of your elbows. Exhale to lower. Inhaling to lift. Now again, if it's open to you, you're welcome to move into eagle arms here, bringing the backs of the arms together, finding the palm or maybe that thumb. And then we find the same movement, inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. So let's put it all together. Inhale, straighten that left leg, extension. Exhaling, sinking deeply. Inhaling to lift. And exhale. Come back to lengthening, release everything out, roll your shoulders, and let's step that right foot in a little bit. So now both feet are facing forward and we have the base for pyramid pose. So our hips and hearts are still facing the front of the mat, both feet are rooted down. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, sweep your palms down by your sides. Press, lengthen. Keep all of that length as you inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Just finding our pyramid pose first. Fingertips can come to that shin or to your left thigh. Maybe for a couple people, they come down to the mat or to a block. And we just breathe right here. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, soften and melt. From here, let's do a little bit of revolved triangle. So we're going to take that right hand and we're going to root it somewhere on that left leg. So maybe it comes to the shin or the thigh. On your inhale, peel your right arm open, turning your heart toward the sky. Exhale, lower that hand down. Inhaling, peeling open, turning your heart toward the sky. Exhaling, lowering down. And coming all the way back to center. Bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way up. Step together and wiggle it out. Okay, so we have been building toward eagle pose all practice long, which is a standing balance and a twist and that crazy thing with the arms, just because it's fun. And also standing balance poses are great for grounding, which is why we do them. So if you had moved before to find something that will help you stabilize, go ahead and move once more to that spot where you've got a bookshelf or a desk or a chair that you can reach out and touch if you need to. Now, I always like to set up my lower body first. So take a moment to root that right leg down. Root into the earth, strong core, open heart. Float your left knee up off the earth and then cross it over. All right, so this is step one. Step two is the arms. So we're going to bring that left arm over, right arm under. Find your shoulders or find your eagle arms. Just depends on what's open in your body today. Now, this is plenty, right? There's a lot happening here. But if you would like to add on, of course, there's always more because it's yoga. You can bend that right knee, sinking down. On your inhale, lift your elbows and straighten out that supporting right leg. Exhaling, sinking down. Inhaling to lengthen, to stand. And exhale. And release. Let it go. Good job. Okay, one more side. Root that left leg. Find that strong core, that open heart, so everything is nice and stacked. When we stay engaged through our belly, it makes balancing easier. We're going to float that right knee and cross it over. So, bottom is set. Let's do the top. From here, right arm over, left arm under. Again, find your shoulders, or if it's open to you, you can find your eagle arms. And again, maybe you stay right here and work on your balance. Maybe you bend that left knee. Inhaling, we move, extending the leg, lifting the elbows. Exhaling, coiling in, bending that left knee, lowering down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And release. Wiggle it out. Excellent work. Come on down to your mat and take a seat. So from here, let's draw our left heel in, extend your right leg nice and long. Turn your heart toward your right foot. Inhale to create length. Exhale, fold forward. Now, wherever your hands land is fine. So that might be your thigh or your shin. For just a couple people, it might be that foot. But what we're focusing on here is lengthening the spine and keeping our backs flat as we melt our hearts toward that right leg. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale to soften. Nice and gently roll your way up to seated. Let's draw that right knee in and plant that right foot in front of us. So for our seated twist today, you can leave your right foot where it is. You can also cross your right foot over that left knee. Now, if you choose this base for your seated twist, two things to stay aware of. Your feet both need to be touching down, and your hips do as well. So if your right hip is floating off of the mat, just bring your foot back to center. Sweep your right hand down to the mat, right behind you. Roll your right shoulder back and down. Press into that palm, create length. Inhale, reach your left hand to the sky. Exhale, turn to the right. Now, yogi's choice here, your hand can come to your knee, or if it's open to you, you can bring your elbow to the outside of that knee. And just begin to find that nice deep twist, turning toward the back of the room. And release, come back to center, sweep your hands over to the left, plant your palms and just let your spine curve. Come back to center. Let's switch it out. So we tuck that right heel in and we bring that left leg out, extending that left leg long. Turn your heart toward your left foot. Single leg forward, fold, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold over your left leg. Again, wherever your hands land is fine. On your inhale, create length. Exhaling, softening, melting. And then let's gently roll our way back up. Draw that left foot back to center with you. And again, yogi's choice here for the seated twist. We can keep that left foot where it is or cross it over. And again, if you choose this option, we just want to make sure our hips are touching down and our feet. And if they're not, no problem. Just bring your left foot back to center. Sweep your left hand down to the mat behind you. Roll that shoulder back and down. Press into your palm to get tall. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky. Exhale, up and over. We twist to the left. Again, hand to knee or elbow to knee, yogi's choice. Begin to turn your heart toward the back of the room. Every inhale, feel a little more length. Every exhale, softening into that twist. And release. Come back to center, sweep your hands over to the right. Plant your palms and curve your spine, stretching out. Come back to seated, and from here, roll your way all the way down onto your mat. Draw your knees in and rock from side to side. Again, just doing a little soothing of our bodies right here. Come to stillness at the center. Open your arms out to either side. Drop your knees off to your right hand side and turn your head to look to the left. Now try to relax your body here, so no tension. Feet and legs are touching down. And if this is too much of a twist and you find that that left leg wants to float, just plant your left foot so that that knee is completely lifted, and then we let that right leg completely open. Let the earth hold you here. Try to melt your left shoulder toward the earth. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, drop your knees off to your left and turn your head to look to the right. Again, relaxing your body. Try to let the earth hold you. And if you notice that right knee wants to float, just plant your right foot and leave that left side opening into the twist. Inhale to find your way back to center. Now, if there is any additional movement, any stretch, any asana, anything at all that you would like to feel, take a moment to honor that request within your body. So maybe it's another twist or an inversion. Maybe it's a little quality time and happy baby, or another nice deep stretch. Whatever would feel really good here, that's what you put in this space. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way into your Shavasana. So remember, you have choices here. You can lie flat on your back with your feet relaxing and flopping open to either side. You're also welcome to have your knees bent here if that's too much on your lower back. Bring your feet the width of the mat and let your knees fall together at the center. Relax your shoulders, palms face the sky. And you, of course, can also take seated meditation. You can take Shavasana on your side. What's most important is that you find ease and relaxation here. Allow your eyes to gently close if they have not already. Let your breath begin to soften. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. And just let go and float. And if you find that you are drawn into a pattern of thought, simply acknowledge it when it happens, and then come back to the feeling of your breath moving gently in your body. Allow your breath to create space within your body. Begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Just coming back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. Then exhale to draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and just curl into the posture of the sleeping child. You can cradle your head on your right arm if that would feel good. Take a moment in this space that you have created to let go of anything from this week that you do not need to carry into the weekend with you. Just let it breathe its way out into the earth and flow away. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We're going to close our practice today with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Let me come up here and stop the recording.